Okay, guys, welcome to your Monday evening class. Let's get going. We're going to start standing and let's just have a nice, gentle kind of flow into this today. Let's just be really kind to our bodies. So just place your feet underneath your hips. I'm just going to adjust the screen so you can see my feet. Back a little bit. Okay, so we've got feet underneath the hips, there we go. And just take a moment just to kind of wiggle the toes a little bit. I'm just kind of lifting my toes and placing them down. And I'm just kind of doing what I would do with my fingers, but with my toes, if that makes sense. And I'm just kind of, as I'm doing that, I'm just allowing for the fascia on the bottom of the foot just to release a little bit. I'm not straining it. I'm just being really gentle with that movement. And then we're going to go the other way. And I'm going to sort of, it's almost like I'm pawing my foot, a little bit like a cat paw. I'm just sort of doing one foot and the other, or I might do both at the same time. Sometimes it feels difficult to do both, so you might want to do right and then left. Keep going. I'm going to show you a little bit closer so you can see actually what I'm doing with my feet. I'm just gently, I'm not scrunching, but I'm just gently pulling, like as if I was pulling something with my foot. And I'm just working through the fascia on the bottom of the foot. That's really, the fascia on the bottom of the foot is quite thick fascia, and it can cause lots of pain and problems. And if we're just very gentle and we just massage our feet slowly and gently like this, it will just start to release tension in the area. The thing not to do though is to start like really trying. You've just got to kind of just be gentle with it. So then just stop in the center, and you've got the weight spread out evenly between the big toe, the little toe and the heel, and you can feel that your arches have now lifted off the floor. So you've got that nice lift in the ankle, and that's going to translate coming up because your knees are going to be strong, and we're going to think about our pelvic floor. So just think about drawing your sit bones together and your pubic bone towards your coccyx. So you've just got this nice little lift. Yeah, it's not a tension, it's just a little lift through the pelvic floor. The shoulders are relaxed and the pelvis is nice and stable. So it's just in this nice stable position. It's not too far forward, it's not too far back. It's just neutral. The rib cage is lifted. Relax your shoulders. Let's just do some nice shoulder rolls. Inhale as you lift the arms up. Exhale down. Inhale and exhale. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Very gently. Let's just go for 2 more. And then from there, just start to roll your head one way, looking down, just doing a little half circle, side to side, and just think about still keeping a nice long spine. And you haven't got to, we're not trying to force the chin onto the chest. We're just allowing that lovely little bit of movement from one side to the other, just nice and easy. Easy, easy, easy. And we're just going to do a couple more. And then bring your head into the middle. And again, just roll the shoulders and relax. Now soften the knees. We're going to go for a little mini roll down. We're just going to roll through the top part of the back of the thoracic spine. Inhale. As you exhale, lift and roll halfway. Inhale, stay. And exhale, roll up. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, stay. Exhale, roll up. And then we might start to go a little bit further. Anyone's out there with any sort of lower back issues, disc issues, things like that, you may want to stay with smaller roll down, that's fine. Remember to always use the transverse abdominis, switch on your belt as you do this movement.
So you might then start to go further if it feels good to do it. Yeah, I mean, if you've not got any disc problems, it actually feels lovely because you're getting this lovely release just hanging there at the bottom. It's just releasing your spine and your hamstrings. But the only reason you wouldn't do it is if it felt a bit twingy. And on the way up, that's when you have to make sure that you don't grip, but you do activate your core and use your transverse abdominis to support the movement. And let's do one more. Okay. Well done, guys. I'm going to get you to come up onto the balls of the feet and just work through the feet and the ankles. Keep your pelvis nice and neutral. Try not to let your ankles bend out to the sides. Just keep them above the foot. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. Lovely. Just watch that foot and leg doesn't go veering off. We're trying to keep it in alignment, but we're relaxed as well. Today is all about breathing, relaxing, being kind to the body, and just moving slowly and gently, and just thinking about mobility. Awesome. And then we're going to bring both the feet down to the floor. Just take one leg forward, soften the leg, soften the knee slightly, Miss Portley, so you're not locking this one out, it's slightly bent. And just do some dorsi and plantar, just with the ankle, just to get the ankle going. And the other leg, we're standing on it still, but remember the knee mustn't lock out. It's not that you've got to really bend the knee, but you don't want it to lock out. Okay, super important. Then just circle your ankle in one direction. You might get a few clicks and crunches going on. And then we're going to circle the other direction. And obviously your stabilizers are being challenged as well because you're now balancing on one foot. Try not to veer off over there. And then place it down. Okay. And then the other side, I'm going to go forwards. Going to go dorsiflex and plantar flex. And we're just going to stretch gently stretch the fascia in the body. You know, sometimes it's nice to like really work hard and really work those muscles intensely. And then other times it's nice just to stretch and move and mobilize. Let's go circling in one direction. But I find generally just movement is the best thing to improve mood, whatever's been going on in your day, change direction. Just moving the body. It's very underrated. I feel like there needs to be, mind you, I think there is enough out there that tells us we should be doing it. We just don't always do it, but I'm preaching to the converted here because you're all here doing it, which is great. Place the feet down underneath the hips again. And again, just go back to lifting the toes and lowering them. Okay, now lift the toes and keep them lifted. Okay, and we're going to do a roll down. You may want to do a half roll down, that's okay. But you're going to keep the toes lifted as you roll. And it's just going to give you a little bit of an extra stretch. Now, are we still breathing? Focus on your breath. Let's do one more. And exhaling down. And coming up. Okay, well done. I want you just to pick up one foot onto the toe and then roll back down through the foot. Other side, heel, ball, toe, toe, ball, heel. Now there's going to be some natural movement. However, I don't just want to completely go over to the side. I'm really trying to stay in the center. So as I move one leg, the rest of me is just kind of staying here. And I'm just going to the tip of the toe, and I can feel that all of a sudden my deep core muscles have to work. They all of a sudden go, oh, hello, I'm switching on. Yeah, they just switch on a little bit as we do this, because they have to, otherwise you end up over there.
Okay, now we're going to go on the toe, turn the knee out, bring it back in, place it down, lift, so alternating. And as I turn that knee outwards, I'm not letting the pelvis move, yeah? So that it's like headlights on the hip bones, pointing forwards, and that's where they're going to stay as I move the leg. That's really important. Okay, so I'm going to move the femur in the hip and ball socket. I'm going to use my deep core to stabilize. I'm not going to like go with it, basically. Lovely. Let's do one more. Awesome. Okay, from there, I'm going to get you guys just to bend your knees and straighten them. This is not a squat, this is just bending knees and straighten them. And feel that nice stretch through the calves. You might start to go a little bit deeper each time. And we're just still thinking about our spine being nice and long. We're lengthening from the top of the head down to the tailbone. We've got this nice stretch in the spine as we bend and stretch the legs. So this is pulling in, and we're not arching, so you shouldn't feel like you're arching or sticking your bottom out. You're just bending and stretching. If I turn to the side, you'll see I'm just here, just bend and stretch. Okay, that's not me arching my back, I've just got big bottom. gives that illusion. Okay, we're going to do that again. Bend and stretch. Just do one more, guys. That's lovely. Just use the breath. Use the breath, okay? Okay. So from there, just start to circle really gently your wrists. Just in one direction. Okay. Still thinking about lengthening the spine. So even though we're circling the wrist, we're not then just letting the we're not just standing there doing it. We've got that lovely lift. We're still thinking about the pelvic floor connecting. I'm taking my arms out to the side. I'm drawing my shoulder blades into my back pockets. And I'm just feeling that connection because I'm moving so slowly. So now change the direction. Relax your shoulders. And just take this lovely circle with the wrists, keeping the arms attached to the back. And then relax. And then lift your arms up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders and just start to reach one way and reach the other. And reach one way. And I'm going to actually add a knee bend. So at the arm that's reaching up, on that same side, your knee is going to slightly bend. So we've just got a little bit of movement going on. We're not trying to hold the body rigid. Now, as you're reaching, you have to remember that this is not coming from your neck or your shoulder. It's coming from your side here. Yeah, that's where you want to be pulling from. And that's the key. The key is to pull, not push. So it's like you're being pulled. You're being pulled from the ribs. You're lifting and we're pulling. Lovely. That's awesome. We're going to do a couple more of those. Should feel like a really good stretch in the side of the body. Let's do 2 more. And then open your arms. And as we exhale, we're going to flex and inhale, open. So but I'm not collapsing. I'm just using the abdominals to contract here and then open. Contract and open. Lovely. That's really nice. Just allow that movement to flow. I bend the knees a little bit as I'm rounding in. And I'm drawing in my tummy and I'm always relaxing my shoulders. So there's never a point here where I'm going to hunch the shoulders. I'm always going to be relaxing them, and that's really important. Let's do one more. Beautiful. Let the arms hang down to the side of the body. Again, just take a couple of shoulder rolls just to relax them. You're going to step 1 foot forward. I might turn to the side actually for this. You're going to step 1 foot forwards. Okay, so you're like in a sort of split stance. But then I want you just to make sure that you've got the weight even on both sides, on both legs basically. Okay. The same arm as the leg that's in front is going to lift, and it's going to go back, and as it goes back, you're going to lift the other arm forwards. So now we're in this lovely stretch, but you're lifting from the crown of the head. You're not trying to go down here. You're up, 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 but the shoulders are down. Then you let that back arm follow through, and then we're out the other way. Okay? Did we get it? Let's try it again. So I lift. I've now got 2 arms open, facing the leg that's in front. I'm going to keep going in the same direction, and I'm looking back. I'm just going to keep moving, guys. So it's basically like your arms only ever move the same way. There will be natural movement of your pelvis, and that's fine, but we don't want it to collapse. The slower you go, the better. And if you think, actually, I need to take 2 photos, okay, 2 photos. So photo 1 is here. So I'm noticing I've got both my arms stretched out. That's the position I need to make. That's for the photo. I carry on going around, and then I need to make photo number 2. So if you think about those 2 very complete points, then we won't end up, hopefully, going on over the place. It's when you start to overthink it, it gets a little bit complex. Because then we start going, am I going back that way? Or literally, you're literally doing that. That's what you're doing. It's like the backstroke in swimming. And we're keeping those shoulders away from the ears. And then think about your legs and your feet and keeping the weight nice and even between them. This is a good one to practice. And you're getting some lovely movement of the spine, some lovely rotation, some lovely height. We're stretching, we're decompressing. Let's really focus on breathing though, guys. Whatever you do, do not hold your breath. You might get a few clicks and crunches in the shoulders. Okay, relax. Before we do the other leg, just bring your feet back to neutral and just go forwards and backwards on the feet. And just really get in touch with the ground and the feet and the feeling of moving forwards and backwards. But remember, don't overly lift the heels up. So I'm only lifting my heels up a tiny bit. However, when I go back, I'm lifting the whole foot up. Because that is where the challenge is, okay? That's where the challenge is. And just breathe. And just stay tall, guys. Stay really tall. Really stretch up through the middle of your head. Get that height going on. Okay, well done. We're going to change to the other foot. So the other leg goes forwards. Okay, you're still going to think about the weight being even between both legs. And then it's the arm that's the same arm as the leg that's in front. So whatever leg you've got in front, it's the same arm on that side is going to lift up. You're going to look behind you, open the arms, take a photo. Continue going in the same direction, and now we're out the other way. And we just keep going in the same direction. So it's really, I would say, important to go quite slowly at first. So really just take your time. And you know what? don't worry about it. Don't, if it's not going completely right at first, the best thing to do is not get frustrated. Sometimes things like this can end up supposed to be relaxing, and then we end up getting a bit annoyed at it because it's not quite working. So just give yourself a chance. You're just moving your arms. If I was speeding up, it's like I'm doing the backstroke, but I'm making those very two clear points. And breathing. And let's breathe. Do not worry about where to breathe on this one. Just breathe. Don't think, oh, I don't know when I'm meant to breathe in and out. Just breathe. Just breathe. Make sure you're not scrunching your toes, because that can happen when we're doing this. And one more. Lovely stuff. And relax. Okay, guys, well done. Still staying on our feet. And again, just go forwards and backwards. Just find that little balance. Okay, and I'm going to get you to now do another roll down. So feet underneath the hips. I'm going to just turn this way. And you're going to roll down. And just hang. Just let your head relax. Lift your tummy in towards your belly. Towards your spine. Okay, lift your belly towards your spine so you're not just flopped, you're engaged. Place the hands down. Take one foot down and then the other. And now you're in 4-point kneeling. Okay. And we're just going to move the pelvis through the flexion and back to neutral. So just flexion and neutral. We're moving from within. We're connecting from the deep core. We're not using the back to push. And definitely don't squeeze your bottom. Just draw the pubic bone to the belly button, get that scooping feeling in the lower tummy. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And imagine you've got two little cherry tomatoes underneath your armpits that you just kind of squashing. Yeah. So you're lifting away, because what can tend to happen is this, we end up down here. Yeah, so you want to be very much up. And we're just getting that nice little bit of mobility. So now finishing a nice flat back, okay? So you've got a nice long spine, your tummy is lifting in. You're going to slide one leg back, keep the foot on the floor, okay? Keep the foot on the floor and make sure that you haven't swayed across onto the supporting leg. So keep the weight very much in the center. And then you're going to keep your toe on the floor, but you're just going to move it side to side. So I'm just tracing the floor with my leg, but I'm drawing in my tummy, so I'm not dipping in the lower back. And there's natural movement of the pelvis, but I'm definitely not, I'm not like really swinging it. Yeah, I'm trying to stabilize. Make sure that you're not collapsing on that supporting side. You're just tracing the floor, carpet, fluffy rug, whatever you're on right there. Okay. And then you're going to bring it back in. Take the other leg back, make sure the back's nice and long, and just move that leg side to side, gently pressing the floor away with your hands, lifting up through your tummy, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Brilliant, well done. Just getting that nice movement through the hips there. And then from there, bring the leg back in, okay? You're going to turn your toes under and you're going to sit back onto the heels. So you're giving your foot a really nice stretch. And at the same time, reach forwards further with your arms and let your forehead come down. We're just stretching through the body. Come back to 4-point kneeling, keep the toes where they are, engage the shoulder girdle, Lift your tummy, and we're going to go into elephant. Elephant is different to down dog. Down dog is like a yoga move where you straighten your back. Basically, it's an extension. Elephant's a flexion. So when we get to the top of the move, what's going to happen is we want our lumbar to round like this. Yeah, that's not me pushing my upper back. That's me pulling in through the tummy and getting flexion in the lumbar. That's the position that we want to make. Okay. Now, if when we get up there, this is too much on your wrists or elbows or anything like that, and you find you can't, it's too much for you, you're going to come back to this position and just focus on the lifting through here and scooping up that way. Okay. But otherwise, we're going to lift our bottoms into the air and then scoop the belly. So you're lifting in your tummy and you're rounding your lower back. So you're getting flexion in the lower part of the spine. As you are flexing, you're pressing your heels down at the same time, okay? So you're lifting up through the tummy very, very much, and your heels are going down to the floor. Try not to push your head through the gap. Think about keeping your ears in line with your elbows. Keep scooping the tummy up. And then as you're lifting the tummy more, try to get the heels down. You'll feel the stretch through the back, through the legs, backs of the legs, through the Achilles, the calves. You'll feel the core having to work. And then you're going to come back, place the knees down, relax the feet. Okay, and then just sit back into a shell stretch. Let your forehead rest on the floor and let your arms just drop down by the side of your body. And still keep the tummy lifted so you're not completely collapsed. Okay, well done. From there, come up, turn one hand this way. So we're going to get a little bit of a stretch through the wrist, get in the opposite direction. And then the other one. Okay, well done. All right, so come and sit in a 90-90 position. Okay. We're going to sit nice and tall. So I've got blurry eyes. Hay fever. You're going to sit in 90-90, and we're going to lift the arm that's the same arm as the leg that's in front. That arm's going to go up. The other one's going to go on the floor. And we're just going to stretch, and we're going to lift our ribs off of the hips. And just keep going up without using your shoulders. That's really important. Shoulders down and just lift. And it's gradual. And we want to go further, but we can't force it. We just have to let it happen. Every time we breathe, we increase that stretch. It should feel really good all through here, lifting and stretching. And then we're going to come over and we're going to go the other way. We're going to allow our elbow to go onto the floor. And as I'm reaching my arm in one direction, I'm pulling my hips back in the opposite direction. And I'm not slumping onto this shoulder. I'm really pushing off of the elbow and drawing in the armpit towards the body. Let's lift again, using the core to lift. And up and over, using the side ribs here to lift up and stretch. And then over we go. Elbow to the floor and reach over. Brilliant. Just push the floor away slightly with the elbow. And coming up. Well done. Okay, let's change sides. So turn your legs the other way. Lovely stuff. And the same arm as the front leg is going to come up. And you're just going to stretch it out. Just going to lift here through these side ribs. Create space in the body. Think about the energy going right through to the ends of the fingertips. So it's going all the way up, and I've got energy coming right out through the fingertips. It doesn't end. It's not like, you know, sometimes with stretching, we're sort of getting in a position we're there. it's like it never ends. There's like a continuation. It's like you can't see it, but it carries on going. And then over we go, elbow down. Engage the shoulder girdle as we take this arm across and pull the hips away from the head. Really relax those shoulders, guys. Watch they're not up here. That's so important. And again, lift and reach and extend and lift this part up, 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 up. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. And bit by bit, the tension starts to ease. And then over we go. Elbow down. Reach the arm over. And hold. Okay, really nice. So, lay back, go back onto your hands and have your legs a little bit wide, and you're going to rotate the hips one way, and then you're going to take them the other way. Okay. We're just going to move side to side and just get that movement of the femurs moving around in the hip and ball socket. Just getting that lovely little bit of mobility going on there. That's really nice. Okay, awesome. Side to side, stretching it out, lovely. And let's just do a couple more. Wonderful, 2 more. Really nice. Okay, take your legs out straight. Can't see mine, I'll go like this. And you can still stand on, just don't slump basically. And think about the hips. So I'm moving the hips around. I know it looks like my ankles are going, and my ankles are, but this is not about me sitting here moving my ankles. I'm moving the femur, come off the mat and camouflage. I'm moving, I don't know if you can see that, I'm moving the femur around. I'm circulating the top of the thigh bone around in the hip and ball socket. So yes, my ankles are circling as well, but I'm really getting that movement through the hips. Keep going, guys. A bit bony on the floor there. And then you're going to change the direction, okay? So then we change direction. So the movement's coming from up here. It's not coming from, yeah, I mean, the ankles are moving as well, but it's really coming from up here. If you're struggling to sit up and do that, just go into your hands a little bit, and that's fine, okay? You could even go onto the elbows if you needed to. But I want you to focus more on what's happening up here than what your ankles are doing for this part of the session, this particular exercise. Just getting those hips moving. Lovely. Okay, from there, sit nice and tall. If it's too much, bend the knees up slightly. Just by simply lifting your knees up, it pulls you onto your sit bones. So if you're really tight here with straight legs, you can try to go taller, but if you're really tight there, it's futile. You're better off just bending the knees a little bit, and it just gives you that nice little lift. Okay. So either way is fine. We're going to put our hands on our thighs, and remember, as we go forwards into this spine stretch, it's like there's a big barrel here that we've got to go over. So we're not just going to like collapse down onto the legs. So I'm going to lift from the back of the head like this first. I'm going to come up and over. And then I roll it back up. And I am lifting my tummy away from my legs, and I'm not letting my head droop. So I'm looking, the first thing I do is I lift from the back of the head, up and over. Now I'm looking down towards like the floor there. That's where my eye gaze is going. But as I go forwards, I'm not going to let my head droop like this. I'm going to keep as if I've got a little apple between my chin and chest. And I'm just getting that lovely stretch in the spine. See if you can also dorsiflex your ankles. And it's just this very lovely, slow, fluid, gentle, easy, kind to our body movement using our breath. And we're making those postural muscles have to work when we sit up. We're not straining intensely, we're just being really kind, really gentle. And let's do one more. And rolling up, brilliant. Okay, try and stay where you are, both hands on the outside of one leg, and just reach down to the outside of that ankle, or as far as you can go. Don't force it, and just hold it there for a moment, and notice that you don't want the other side to lift off the floor. So both sit bones nice and equal, and then you're going to come up, change. Okay, now this is a form of Pilates, but also what I'm doing, it's going to sound a bit weird. I've been learning some touching techniques. I must admit, the last week or so, well, last week, struggling a little bit with just being on my own all the time, which is fine. I mean, I actually quite like it, but it's a very weird situation when you've not physically touched anybody for like ages. So I was looking into these techniques, and they were teaching in a school in Denmark, the children to like hug each other and stuff like that. And I was looking a bit more into it and just seeing some techniques like this. So this might not be exciting for you, but it's actually quite nice as well, because it kind of gets you in touch with your body a little bit. You're stretching, you're being kind to your body, and you're just sort of giving yourself a little bit of love. Let's do one more each way. Okay, well done guys, awesome. You're going to bend your knees, and we're just going to roll down. Okay, so just gently rolling down through the spine and come to the bottom. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we've got our feet and knees hip width apart, arms pressed down to the floor, and you're going to spread the weight out evenly between big toe, little toe and heel. And then we're going to draw pubic bone to belly button, scoop the belly in, roll up just halfway, so we squeeze our bottom as we come up, and then you're going to scoop the belly in and roll back out. Okay, so I'm just going to do little mini bridges where we're just going to focus on that mobility through the lumbar, because that's the bit of the back that needs, actually it doesn't, all of the back needs work, but the lumbar spine does get quite jammed, especially if we're doing a lot of sitting. And you'll probably notice when you reduce the range of movement, you're coming down very gently like this and slowly, you can feel how jammed the lumbar is. And I'm generalising here, but I'm pretty sure for most of us, we're coming down and it's feeling a bit like that's articulating, and that last bit kind of feels like it's sort of fused. So that's why it's really good to do these smaller movements. And also noticing the imbalances. As you're coming down, you're just going to pay attention and think, am I a little bit more dominant on one side? Is my body wanting to take me over more one way than the other? So it's one of those smaller movements are actually harder than bigger movements in some respects, because we just have to concentrate a little bit more. We just have to make ourselves, it just brings an awareness to what's going on. Let's just do a couple more of those little ones there. One more. So then keep the core engaged, and all you're going to do is just draw one knee into the chest, then the other one. Okay, and just literally by drawing your knees in, you are stretching your lower back. So you're getting this big stretch of the lumbar. If it feels good just to stay there, do that. Okay. If you want a bit more of a stretch, we're going to lift the head and shoulders. and that's going to give you more of a stretch, okay? So the closer I can get my forehead to my knees, the bigger the stretch of the spine, but don't force it, okay? And the core, you can feel the core has to work really hard. And you might just do a little gentle sway side to side if that feels good. And then relax, okay. Just roll onto your tummy. Okay. One hand on top of the other, forehead on hands. And you're going to energize your legs. And imagine that somebody's standing behind you and is pulling your legs away from your head. And you're lifting your tummy in. So you're going to lift one leg with the same arm as the leg that's in the air. You're going to gently reach back and hold onto the ankle. And then put your forehead back onto your hands. And then in your head, think to yourself, are both my hip bones on the floor? And the leg that you're holding in particular, if your hips and lower back are really tight, they're going to remember the pattern that they're going to want to do that, and your bottom's going to go up and your hips are going to go up. So you've got to go against that, and you've got to think, I'm going to press the leg or the knee away from the head. I'm going to squeeze my bottom, and I'm going to gently draw my foot towards my bottom as I'm doing that. But I'm getting that lovely, lovely stretch through the thigh. Okay, it might feel a little bit like it's burning, but we want it to. And increase the stretch by pressing your knee away from your head. It might come off the floor a little bit, but don't pull the leg up into the air, because then we end up usually doing it the wrong way and going into the lower back. So it's more the feeling of stretching the knee away from the head. And then let's release that one, and let's do the other side. And you can absolutely use your breath with this. Basically, every time you breathe out, that's when you're going to deepen into the stretch, okay? Just connect with the breathing. Every time you breathe out, deepen into the stretch. Use your glutes. If you squeeze your bottom, that will give you more stretch on the front of the body. And we want to extend the front of the body. We get so used to doing everything in flexion. It's crying out to be stretched. And then we're going to release. Have your legs in parallel, hands and elbows on the floor. Energize the legs, lift your tummy in, and now it's like you're rolling a marble forwards with your nose. You're going to come up. Squeeze your bottom, and if it feels good to go into a full stretch, do it, but don't force anything. As you're coming down, draw your elbows towards your hips. We're lifting up, we're reaching the chest forwards. We're squeezing our bottom, we're drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Keep your tummy muscles really pulling in though, that's important. As you're coming down, pull the elbows towards your hips so that your shoulders draw away from your ears. Now, you might not be going that far, that's okay. You might be there and then coming down, that's all right. Notice my head doesn't go past my shoulders, so I don't let that happen. I always keep the neck in line with the spine. And it's all about going forwards, not backwards. Yeah, squeeze your bottom. Lengthen from the top of the head to the toes. And we're going to do one more. Reach away. And coming down. And then just bring yourself back into a little shell stretch. Let your forehead just rest onto the floor and just feel that lovely release in the spine. Okay, well done. Come up onto your knees. Okay, just up onto the knees. We're going to do a little continuation of what we were doing on the floor just then. So the idea is we stretch the hips and thighs. We're going to really use the glutes. This is an exercise that is quite tough because we're opening, we're releasing the front of the body. Okay, but it's very much needed. It's not, I don't really know anybody that likes this move, but we need it because we're so used to doing that all the time. It just feels like an alien to our body. So give yourself a chance with it. Shoulders down, okay, squeeze your bottom. And this is a very energizing move. As we go back, we're going to lift with our hearts. Squeeze your butt, and you want your hips to be the furthest point forwards, don't hinge into the back. Then squeeze your bottom and gently come back up to the top. So that's the move. We're going to keep going. There's two things to consider, or there's a few things, but mainly watch that you don't get to a certain point and then just arch the back and it feels like you're going further, but that's because you've hinged into here. The second one is watch that we don't do a little cheat and start to bend. I mean, that in itself is a move, but we're not doing that. We don't want the hips to go into flexion. We want them to stay in extension. So it's almost like you're just going in one piece from the top of the head, from the knees to the top of the head. Okay, let's just do it. It's very energizing and it's very opening. It's really going to open your heart. It's going to release a lot of tension in the body. Squeeze your bottom. You're working your posterior chain. You might feel it in your knees because remember your rectus femoris does go over the knee. So you might feel that stretch all the way down there. And just go to where it feels like it's enough for you. You haven't got to overdo this, okay? But do take it to that point just a little bit further than you think you can, because otherwise we never progress, okay? And you'll be surprised what you can achieve. We're just going to do a couple more of these. And then one more. And relax. Oh, well done. Okay. So we're not going to use our hands or our arms. We're going to step up one foot, whoops, and the other. That was a very bad demo. Then we're going to go back down. Just shows it doesn't have to be perfect. Then the other leg, step, step up, step down, brilliant. We just keep alternating which leg you're using to step up with, okay? This is a great exercise to do to really make the stabilizers, the glutes, everything has to do its job. If we're using our arms, sorry, I've gone blurry, the eyes. If you have to use your arms and your core is not working. Let's just do one more. We're going to stay at the top. Okay. So we're back to where we started. Okay. And just kind of move your body a little bit. Just move it, yeah. Doesn't kind of matter where you're going, what you're doing, but it's all coming from the core. You're connected. You're moving with connection, yeah. And then you just sort of stop in the middle. After a while, find that center point. Okay, and we've got the weight spread out between the big toe, little toe, heel. Arches are lifted, pelvic floor is lifted, core is connected but not gripping, shoulders are down. I just want you guys to breathe into your rib cage. So we're just taking in really slow breath, and it's low, it's coming down into here. And as you breathe in, feel that your rib cage very much widens. And as you exhale, it just relaxes. Okay. So really take your time. Feel the expansion of your rib cage widen as much as you can. And then just let it gently settle in. And again. And then just roll the shoulders around a couple of times. Try not to let your ankles roll in. Think about the foot position. Relax them down. As we breathe in and reach the arms up, we're going to funnel the ribs down and keep the shoulders relaxed. We're not going to let everything hike up. So we're going to stay connected. It's kind of like, as your arms are reaching out, they feel secure. There's like a security there. They're drawing back into the body. They're not just being pulled away from you with no control. Everything's anchoring back into your heart center. One more. And then for anyone out there who needs a bit of a hug, you do that, and you just sort of move. You just move. Remember, nobody's watching, so who the hell cares? We just kind of move, just nice and easy. Just give ourselves a little bit of love, and you might change direction if you can. That feels a bit weird going the other way. And then just let the arms hang down and just breathe. Find your lovely posture. Take one more big energizing breath in. Breathe it out and give yourselves a clap. Thank you. That's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a nice bit of mobility this evening. So guys, have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will see you on the next class. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.